President and Mrs. Kennedy escort Mr. Nehru and his daughter on the short flight from Newport to Washington aboard the presidential plane. Vice President and Mrs. Johnson, Secretary of State and Mrs. Rusk, and other high dignitaries are present to greet the Prime Minister and his daughter. The cordial atmosphere of the greeting reflects the great affection and high regard in which the American nation holds the Prime Minister and his daughter.
I wish to express, Prime Minister, on behalf of the people of the United States, our great satisfaction in welcoming you once more to our country, which you have visited in earlier days. So, Prime Minister, we welcome you here to the shores of this country as a friend, as a great world leader, as one who has, in his own life and times, stood for those basic aspirations which the United States stands for today. Prime Minister, we're glad to see you again.
Mr. President, Ms. Kennedy, I feel deeply honored and happy being here again and to receive this great welcome from you, more particularly, not for the formal side of it, but for the friendship which animated your words. You have been good enough in the past also to refer to my country in terms which evoked a warm response in our hearts. I am grateful to you, sir, for your warm welcome, and to Mrs. Kennedy also.
Following the welcoming ceremonies, the Prime Minister and the President fly by helicopter to the White House, residence of the American President. Throughout the capital city, there prevails an atmosphere of keen interest and curiosity in the Prime Minister's visit. Several meetings with President Kennedy are to be held, meetings which will permit an exchange of views and ideas between two men who will spare no effort in their pursuit of world peace. Later that evening, the Prime Minister and his daughter arrive at the White House to be greeted by President and Mrs. Kennedy, who have arranged an intimate and informal dinner during which the two world leaders and the two First Ladies will continue to become better acquainted. The following morning, the nation's influential newspapers note the interest of the American people in the Prime Minister. That afternoon, the third meeting between the two leaders takes place. Scores of reporters and photographers crowd around to hear the Prime Minister reply, "Very well indeed," when asked about the progress of the discussions. Indian Foreign Secretary M.J. Desai and Secretary of State Dean Rusk are present for the talks. Several hours later, the President and Prime Minister emerge to tell the press that the free and very frank discussions had progressed well and covered a wide range of topics, from the protection of free and independent states to the control of nuclear testing.